Vumanikum Vumanikum von California, von Houston, Texas. Was tut in California und Texas? Was tut in California und in Texas? Mit Trink Maschke und min Holen. Mit Trink Maschke und min Holen. Und min Geld, da kann ha, ha, ha. Mit Trink Maschke und min Holen. Und min Geld, da kann
Mazel Tov, Basya and David. It was wonderful to be with you in Los Angeles just a short week ago and to be at the Chasana here. All of the Grafs wish you a life of much bracha, osher ve'osher, all good things to you and hopefully a growing family in the years ahead. Mazel Tov.
Hey, David and Basya. I can barely hear myself right now, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I just want to say Mazel Tov and Shalom B'Simchas, and I'm so happy, and I'm sure you also, and it should be amazing. And I was just thinking also on the way here about the Parsha, whatever, how about Bechors, that you guys are both the oldest, and you both, seems to me, have like a double portion in your passion and dedication of Avodas Hashem. And Be'ezus Hashem, so continue, and the Bayis Nemam Yisrael, and Mazel Tov a billion times, and so on, so on.
Actually, planning to prepare this for the Shever Brachos, but I think it's appropriate to say it for our Torah, so I'll be reading most of it, which is from Rabbi Yehuda Prero. So the Machzor Vitri comments that it's the custom unique to grooms to be accompanied wherever they go, even the week after they're married. Why? Because according to Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, Chasan domel melach. A chasan is similar to a king. Just as a king does not go out alone without his entourage, so a chasan doesn't go out alone. So what exactly is it that causes a groom to attain the status of royalty? Just because he got married, does that mean all of a sudden he should get the respect due to a king? So in Tehillim, David HaMelech writes, the one thing I asked of Hashem is that I shall seek, that I shall dwell in the house of Hashem all the days of my life. The Yalkut Shimoni explains the request of David HaMelech. What he says is that David HaMelech was asking for royalty. So if you think about it, it really doesn't quite make sense. I mean, David HaMelech was a melech. He was already royalty. In addition, we know about David HaMelech that he was constantly learning Torah day and night, and he was not a person to be chasing after royalty. So, what does this mean? So in the Gemara we find the answer in Gittin. Who are true kings? The Gemara says that those who study Torah are true kings. Because through the study of Torah, they merit the Keser Torah, the crown of Torah, like we learned in Pirkei Avos. So what he was asking to be immersed in Torah and to earn the Keser Torah, that he should sit in the house of Hashem all the days of his life and learn Torah. This is what he was requesting in Tehillim. The Gemara in Yevamos says that any man that does not have a wife exists without simcha, bracha, and Torah. He exists without happiness, blessing, and Torah. So it's possible to understand why a person might not be happy about being single, or might not feel blessed because he's not married, but there are many people who clearly study Torah that are single. And how can we understand this? So Rav Avadia Yosef explains that there are different levels of Torah study. That a person can be just engaged in idle chatter, and this is considered bittul Torah. But he also explains that when a person doesn't apply himself and reach greater and intensity in his Torah learning, this is also considered bittul Torah. Also, we know that in Gemara Shabbos, that the Shekhinah does not rest upon a man through gloom. Only when a man is sameach, when a person is happy, this is what brings down the divine Shekhinah upon him. So if a person is not married according to the Gemara, he's not without complete simcha. He will not merit the Shekhinah to rest on him, the divine presence, and to give a bracha, a blessing to his efforts. Therefore, a person who is not married in this sense doesn't have the same happiness because he can't attain the same level of Torah study. When a person gets married, he experiences tremendous joy and brings him to a complete level of happiness, which brings him to a much higher ability and capability of attaining true avodas Hashem, true devotion to Torah and learning and practicing Hashem's commandments. And so, in this sense, he joins the ranks of royalty. He becomes like a king, a member of God's extensive royal family. In Pirkei de Eliezer, he points out that although a chassid is compared to a king because of his level of happiness and his ability to attain greater intensity of Torah learning and devotion and Ma'asim Tovim, but this this can be only temporary, because after the Sheva Brachas, you're married for a while, things might come down to a lesser level, and he might lose that. So what's the secret? The secret is to continue being happy, and to be sameach, and to continue your avodas Hashem, and continue your marriage. Where's my son? I gotta look at him there. Where is he? There. Okay. You should continue in having a family, that there's harmony, shalom bayis in the house, happiness, joy. This will bring you to, both of you, and Basia, neshama liba, neshama la, as I like to call her, to a much higher level of avodas Hashem. So it's my bracha to both of you that you should only know simcha all your lives. You should only know happiness. You should build a bayis neman b'Yisrael in the tradition of our fathers and grandfathers, forefathers. As we know during our chasana, all the neshamas are here, of all our relatives, enjoying, partaking in the simcha. So I want to wish both of you only a life of shalom bayis, happiness, health, and all the good things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu blesses us with. And I want to thank everybody for, my wife is giving me the sign, yes, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I want to thank especially the Richburgs for everything they've done to make this wedding to happen, and it's wonderful to have all of you here, and all the chevra who really made it a simchadik occasion. Shkoyach and Zay Gesund.
A very special man over here, a small surprise. The father of the column, Mr. Richburg, would like to say a couple of words as well.
I don't know what I can say that would rise anywhere close to the meeting, so I will keep it personal. It's been a long journey, and one that many years ago I wouldn't have even considered, but I want to thank everybody for the way they've taken in my daughter and loved her. I want to thank my new son that I've come to love very quickly, who is just such a wonderful person. And I am totally confident that my daughter is in wonderful hands. I'm losing my John Wayne image here, but I'm really blessed by Hashem to have such a fabulous daughter who never gave us any problems, except maybe driving. But other than that, was as perfect a daughter as we could have wished for. And the blessing now that is coming to us, I hope and I know Hashem will bless us with many grandchildren, and the care and the light that will come from that house that will spread into our home. And I just wish all the blessings and happiness that you will see through the ups and downs that will inevitably come, the test and the good times, and keep your joy throughout both the good and the difficult things, and keep your joy together. You will get to the end of the road very wise and as full of God's light and His blessings as you could, more than you can possibly imagine, as it is in my life right now. So thank you all very much.
Probably wondering what's going on over here, but I felt I cannot just sit back and be silent. And besides thanking the people here, of course, I owe a tremendous, really infinite debt of gratitude to God, blessed be He, for out of His infinite kindness and mercies, blessing me with now my wife, may His name be blessed, Basia Neshama Liba, and a tremendous family. certainly I would like to extend my gratitude, of course, also to the Tzaddik Yisod Olam, the servant of Hashem, whose teachings continue to inspire me in a way that words do not suffice to give gratitude toward, and whose Hasidim made me who I am today with respect to all good qualities that I have. That's the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And out of all those Hasidim which I have been privileged to meet, Baruch Hashem, there's one Chassid that stands out who I've had the supreme honor and pleasure for. It's one of the greatest blessings in the world next to being Jewish. And that is my Mashpia, who's taught me for over 10 years and given he's given everything. You name it, he's given it. Time, money, energy, patience. Emphasis on the patience. And that is Rabbi Amiram Markel. And certainly my parents. I don't even need to go to detail on that. But also everybody who came here today to make this simcha, all my friends from growing up the Markel family, the Ratcliffe family, David Yosef Ratcliffe and Avram Barki, who were my showmen this week, also went through tremendous Mesiras Nefesh, tremendous self-sacrifice to make sure everything was done right, everything was done in the best way, and everything was done comfortably for me, even at their own expense. And for everyone from Kol Tiferes Menachem, of course, all the Bachrim here who made it a very simchadik occasion, as my father pointed out, to my new in-laws, the Richburgs, who raised such a fine, righteous daughter who, like I said, I can't, at least 120 years, but with Hashem's help, but at the end of the day, Biklal can't do justice to the gift that Hashem has given me, Bli Ayin Hara. So as my father mentioned, it's very, very important to connect every single occasion, every event of our life to Torah. I was recently informed that the reason it's important to have an aliyah the week before the wedding is specifically because we need to take the power of Torah with us to empower us to build a foundation and the basis for an everlasting edifice of Bayis Tema B'Yisrael, Bezras Hashem. The Alter Rebbe says that we should live with the times, by which is meant that we should look at the aliyah and the parsha that corresponds to the day and realize that there is a personal message in our daily divine service that we can take out of it. There's been a lot of discussion recently over here about how it is that specifically through marriage, a person is able to accomplish a greater connection to God. Now, at first glance, that claim seems to fly in the face of logic. Okay, first year with Hashem's help, maybe a few years after that, person's learning in Kollel full time. Okay, it's very, very easy. They're fully immersed in Torah 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No problem. Okay, now what? Then they're going to have to get a job, they're going to send kids to yeshiva, etc., etc. At first glance, it looks like on the contrary, they went from ascent to descent, God forbid. But really, the exact opposite is true. Why? So it's explained in many places. I think I saw more recently in Tomer Devora of the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, a famed Kabbalist. Maybe chapter 9, I'm not sure exactly. I think it was on the section of Malchus. And he writes, if I recall correctly, that the divine presence does not cleave to a person unless they're married. What's the connection? So this week's parsha we learn about how Hashem took the Jews out of Egypt. He freed them. Egypt, Mitzrayim, is a paradigm for all forms of exile. That doesn't just mean exile with the various nations of the world. It means also an exile in the individual himself or herself. Mitzrayim, Egypt, is related with different vowel points, can be spelled Meitzarim, limitations or boundaries. Before a person is married, they're limited to themselves. They can't transcend themselves. So because of that, their learning is not the same, their avodas Hashem is not the same. Only when they have the concept of a true and complete consideration for someone outside of themselves, are they better able to relate to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, who, if you want to so to speak call it his trademark or whatever, is selflessness. That everything he does is for other people. Like the Gemara Megillah teaches us, that where you find Hashem's greatness and how He's transcendent and He's powerful, omnipotent, He can do anything, He does everything, He's making miracles all the time. There you find His humility. And the Gemara over there connects it to various verses in Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksuvim, and Tanakh, talking about how Hashem uplifts the fallen, if I recall correctly, etc. In other words, so to speak, He's thinking about someone besides Himself. He's asking Himself the question, what can I do for somebody else? And this is bottom line what it's all about, that just as Hashem took out the Jews from Mitzrayim, and He entered into them in what relationship? In terms of a marriage. Chazal say to us that Hashem took the mountain, and that was like the marriage canopy. In other words, what did He do to make the nation of Israel, as we know the nation of Israel, to give them the Torah? What had to happen first to truly internalize the message of Torah? Not just to learn it as an intellectual abstract, but to apply it in real life, in physical terms, had to get married. And this is really the message, I think, at least one possible message out of this week's parsha in terms of this wedding. And on that note, I really hope, with Hashem's help and His infinite kindnesses and mercies, just as He's helped me, He'll help every person here, every person on the women's side, and every single in the nation of Israel to speedily find, marry, and raise a very large, happy, healthy, wealthy Hasidic family with a true Bashir. Yasher Koch. And He should reunite with us and get the marriage reunion thing going on in Jerusalem with Mashiach now.
Aside me wel benchen. Yehi Shem Adonai Bevarach V'Yatov Yalom B'Shus V'Ranan V'Rabosai V'Varech Aleinu Sh'Asipka B'Mono Sh'Chal Mishalo V'Varech Aleinu Sh'Asipka B'Mono Sh'Chal Mishalo V'Tavo Chayinu Baruch Atah Adonai L'Olam Zon Es Olam Kulo B'Tova B'Chein B'Chesed V'Rachamim O No Sein Lecha L'Kol Basar Ki V'Yolam Chazdo V'Tova HaGadol Chom B'Locha So to Tobi V'Chayom V'Chay Yisrael Sha'ah
Ay Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol baruch yichvodo.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol baruch yichvodo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'tzalmo b'tzelem dmut tavnito v'idkin lo mimenu binyan hadayad Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'adam.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher barasos l'simchas tamlikah lo giladina b'tzav v'chedva hava v'yachva v'shalom v'reyut meira Adonai Eloheinu yishama mi'ar Yehuda u'v'chutzot Yerushalayim kol sasa v'kol simcha kol chasa Tzalot chatanim mechupatam onorim mishtenginatam Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatanim hakala.
to thank you for the beautiful speech you made up there. And I hope that I will definitely make you the happiest man in the world as my king. And we should have many beautiful kinderlach and spread Chassidus and Torah and mitzvahs all over the world, everywhere we reach.
Amen. And you already have made me the happiest man in the world, thank God. And the revelations have begun. With Hashem's help, amen, to all your beautiful blessings. And Hashem should help us build, please, a binyan ad de'ad, a bayis neman b'Yisrael, where the Chassidischkeit is palpable and the Shalom Bayis is palpable in the home. You walk in and you're hit by it. And with Hashem's help, we should succeed in fulfilling the Rebbe's shlichus and bringing Yidden closer to the Eibishter, blessed be He, culminating in the bayis neman between the Eibishter and the Yidden in Eretz Yisrael, Mashiach.